Wow, Bree, what are you reading?
What am I reading?
Ah. What else you got? Wow. These
It is all here at the Brooklyn Cafe. You can find all this here.
our beautiful merch. Now, live from Boca Raton is the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. How'd you like that little open?
I like the whole situation.
I'm going to tell you, I got to tell you,
flow.
I got to complain. Where's the complaint department?
She's not here today.
You know, this one is Miss Powerful.
I know.
She walks in like Superwoman, and all the guys, they fall over. And I asked her to do this today, and she's like shy. She's like so quiet.
She did in front of the camera. She did a great job.
I wanted her to scream. Scream and say, "Oh my God, look at this!" The whole skit was built on enthusiasm.
I think they did a great job. Fantastic. And I have to tell you, the new artwork in the studio is spectacular. This blue piece that we have never seen of Amy Reshevsky's in 2.5 years.
Where has this been?
I do not know. Up in the loft. But it is beautiful.
This is amazing.
I know.
This has got to be one of the most. Now is my new favorite piece in the
Amy,
studio.
our new favorite piece now is this beautiful blue. We're deciding what it is. To me, it looks like a lily pad with a flower. Bree says it's a bird. I see the Virgin Mary coming out of the flower,
It's
too.
the Matrix.
The Matrix. Interesting.
It's the. Yeah, you would see it's a buffalo. I'm gonna tell you, and your artistic value is very confusing. It's the Matrix.
And you don't have a mic on. Yeah, that's it.
I guess art doesn't use a microphone. Do you know he hangs stuff great, but it's never level. It's like crooked.
They did an amazing job. The artwork behind us are the new pieces that came from Ken Bieberman. Everything is for sale. This Mona Lisa piece behind me has been NFT commissioned by the Vatican. We are fortunate enough to have a reproduction here, and yes, it is for sale. The NFT rights of this and a few others belong to the Vatican, so that is spectacular in itself. This one, we watched him make this, so as soon as that commercial's ready, you'll see. This piece is amazing, of New York and Chinatown and all of the beings
It's
there.
the Heights.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what he told me.
I love that piece.
It's 181st Street.
And then we got to all the guys in here today. They rehung the artwork on Amy's star-studded wall, and we're going to be working on some pricing. I like the table back there for hard opens. I like this little cozy corner. I need something there. on
I
the
gotta
white
tell you,
wall.
they did a really nice job.
They did
It's
a
really
great
nice.
job.
Military got up there. Did you see? He looked like he was from Secret Ops.
Really?
Yes, he was up there. He was like Secret Ops. And Slick got to look for the first time. I think you and me were like, okay, this looks good here. You and them long arms, bro.
You're like Gumby. He goes,
Gumby goes like that?
Gumby, you know, Gumby has these really long arms.
No, he doesn't.
Speaking of long arms, there
Yeah.
was a piece, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York has a new exhibit. I'd really like to go, and it's all
Go.
different fashions.
Leave, see?
And they actually have Abraham Lincoln's coat that he was assassinated in on
It's all
exhibit.
bloody. Why would you want
Well, they actually show that part where the lining is all worn through and everything. And when he passed away, his wife gave it to their doorman, gave the coat to their doorman, not even thinking twice. So the doorman kept it in the family for a century.
First of all, Abraham Lincoln lived in a log cabin. He didn't have a doorman.
They
What
did-
doorman?
They gave it to the doorman of, I guess, where the White
Well, he
House.
lived-
I do not
The
know.
White House had a doorman?
Someone had a doorman. Anyway, story is she gave it to the doorman.
Who
And
told you this?
I heard it on the news over the weekend.
And you don't question that there was a doorman?
I don't even question that the flag on the moon is moving, but you do.
That's a true story. Now, have you noticed that I have my finger?
I do. I left it out for you.
Yes, because I was told not to touch my face. So now I sanitize the finger. I can scratch my eye.
It's got your eye. It's all good. You guys did an amazing job. It's just a whole new feel of energy. All our backdrops are fixed. I like the open they did. We've got new producers in the house.
Anthony's in shock. I have never seen a guy. I got to tell you something. You look like the guy from The Matrix. Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves. You look like. Did anybody tell you that?
Now what are you going to call him?
Matrix. Anthony, your new name now is Matrix. We give everybody here a nickname. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's overwhelmed. He looks like the guy from The Matrix. Why are you looking at my finger? Don't be looking at my
I'm
finger.
looking at Pocahontas.
That's got to go.
Oh no, she watches over
No,
the
you
studio.
can put this on your side. This is giving me. I
She's
watched.
always there.
You know what I watched last night?
What?
Annabelle.
What's Annabelle?
Annabelle. You guys know Annabelle?
What is Annabelle? Anyone
Matrix.
know?
You know Annabelle? You know the latest one, the number 3 that
Took
they
him an
did?
hour and a half to get here.
I know. We have to talk
You
to
need
him.
a nap.
He needs a nap and something to eat. Annabelle is a scary movie about a doll. It's a true story. Do you know? It's a true story. So I watched it last night at 11 o'clock. I couldn't watch it. There was stuff in my house moving around. I said, I'm done with this.
Oh my gosh.
I turned it off.
I was thinking of you, I guess it was Mother's Day weekend. I haven't really talked to you since then. Someone was showing me a video that was taken in their cousin's house.
Yeah.
And one of the kids put the camera down in like this gray, dark movie mode. So it's like a black and white mode. And once they went to capture, look at the film, they saw things, bodies running through the hallway, and it was not the children, because one kid was on the camera and another kid was in the room, and there was this long-legged being running down the hallway that is now captured on their phone,
You know what kind of camera that is?
at their iPhone.
Yes, but you know what setting it's on?
If they told me it was like a black and white cinema setting.
It's, what do you call that, night vision type of deal?
Yes, that's what it was on. And they tried to reenact it, but it did not happen again.
The funny thing is that that setting on any instrument will pick up all sorts of stuff.
So it did.
We should do that. The Poltergeist. Do you remember when we produced the show that did that kind of deal? Because the guy came in here, and then he did his show at the
Yep.
radio station, and the radio station went out,
The paranormal show.
the paranormal show. And they started doing their paranormal at the radio station, and the station went out. And Bobby called me. He says, "Okay, take him off the air."
I was thinking of you because you and I have had these conversations. Today's National Graduation Tassel Day, of this being just running through the hallways. And they just moved into this
Oh my
house
God,
about 6
it's running
months
through
ago.
the whole. Oh, it's you. I thought you were one of those.
I'm so glad
beings.
she's back. She's back. Haley's back.
Are
I
you
got this
leaving?
beautiful necklace from her mother for
Are you
Mother's
staying
Day.
permanently here?
Yes.
She needs a car. If anybody has a car,
Ask
if
Israel.
anybody has a car, yes, we should. You should call Israel.
I
Your
should.
friend.
He was here this morning.
See if
Did
he
you
brings
see?
you cookies.
Did you see?
Yeah. How can I miss it?
We got a lot going on today. We're having Luhu Senior Advisors join us, Paul Solomon and Sabrina Rodriguez. We're talking financial planning for your loved ones, senior placement, putting your documents in place, but not estate planning, a whole nother side of it as far as long-term care insurance and all the things that you need to know to get your loved ones the best care possible. You did a nice show last night, a lot of networking last night in the kitchen.
I know you guys are very loud.
I wasn't even in there.
I couldn't even hear the production.
I
It
was
so
in
loud.
with you, and they were all those. That was your show
Oh,
in the lobby,
I guess I can't blame her.
but I think it was good. They did a lot of nice networking.
Look
The
at
guys
this.
did.
Look at the matrimony over here.
That's nice, isn't it?
And all they do is fight. Never seen
So-
anything like it.
Oh, they want lunch. She's hungry.
She's hungry. I had to get her salad because she's watching her figure.
Oh, very nice.
So I got a person that wrote in. They have a car for sale, but they want a date. You're not on the market, correct? No. Okay, so she's not on the market. That's an X.
How does your mind
Get me
even
another
work?
car. I'm just telling you, people, they have vehicles.
Do you like this Mona Lisa piece behind me?
I love it. I love all this stuff. This guy's great. He's going to come in and do a show with us in a couple of weeks. He has some things, personal stuff he has to take care of. But this guy, you see that Mona Lisa face? Who's it remind you of?
I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
It reminds you of Haley,
Yeah, how'd you know that?
because I heard you tell her that. She said she's got the Mona Lisa smile,
She does.
but it actually looks like me.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't look like Haley.
Yes, it does.
You think? Looks like Haley? You think the Mona Lisa looks like Haley?
Matrix, who does that look like? Look like her Matrix?
No, he had this, when we went there to do the shoot, he had this portrait that looked just like,
Oh, he had another portrait that looked like Sarah. That's his daughter.
I was like,
Do you have film of that?
I think
You have to show it to Sarah.
Sarah who? This Sarah?
Yeah, she's here.
Sarah's here?
She graduated. I did her evaluation today, but she's here.
Oh, we're going to bring her out here.
Let's bring her on. Talk about
Bring Sarah out here
graduation.
that she graduated. Let's find out about her graduation.
All right.
And also, we can introduce Matrix to the public.
All right, let's take a
Bring
commercial
Sarah
break. When we come back,
out.
more with our new crew. We've got
Bailey's
Luhu
for
coming in
you.
the house. We've got Sabrina Rodriguez. We got a whole show lined up for you. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the art, all you have to do is give us a call at 888-994-4995, Studio A. And merch, they can log into, check out our merch QR code right here on the screen. Opens up your website. You can get all the information on our website and our merch right there. Check
You
it
know,
out.
one is website and one is merch.
We're going to take a commercial break. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Justin Mooney is special counsel of the Florida office of Hinman, Howard & Cattell Attorneys. Justin's practice focuses on tax, estate planning, guardianship, probate, and trust administration. His passion is to provide clients with sophisticated estate plans which carry out their wishes, reduce any potential taxes, and preserve wealth for future generations. The attorneys of Hinman, Howard & Cattell provide first-class legal services and have achieved a reputation for excellence for over a century, staying on the leading edge of the law. When you need representation or legal counsel, contact Justin Mooney at 561-276-1008 or jmooney@hhk.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Lady Ashley and this is my husband, Big John.
The muscle behind the hustle.
We are the creators of this very unique party planning business, Lady Ashley Party Planning. We are known for all the details. We specialize in gorgeous balloon decor, floral displays, and handle all of your party planning needs from A to Z.
Please feel free to visit our website at ladyashleypartyplanning.com. Our email is abpartyplanning@yahoo.com, and our phone number is 561-542-2296.
Cool, calm, collected. Needing a drink to end a long day, or maybe to start your vacation right? Gubba Rum is here to let you kick back and do just that. Inspired by a technique that dates back to the 1800s, these artisanal, organic, and naturally infused rums are made from pure cane and the finest fruits, spices, and herbs the world has to offer. Gubba Silver is infused with naturally shredded coconut, and Gubba Gold is infused with real vanilla bean. Simply shake and enjoy. Visit gubbarum.com to find the nearest location to buy or enjoy. All establishments have personally reviewed and enjoyed firsthand the wicked smoothness of Gubba Rum. 35% ABV and 70 proof. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, Social Security, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you. Welcome to Sunshine Senior Solutions, a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first, offering quality home medical equipment and supplies. Sunshine Senior Solutions is here to help simplify the lives of patients, caregivers, and their families. From canes and crutches to diabetic glucose monitors, your health, safety, and comfort is our #1 priority. Call or visit our website, Sunshine Senior Solutions, bringing the heart back to healthcare.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
At the Brooklyn Cafe, come down and get you a bag. Now back to Don and Freddie.
Only Slick set that up. I know Slick set it up. I know he did. Why? Because he don't even know what bourbon coffee is.
What are you talking about? He does know what bourbon coffee is. You know what bourbon coffee is. Bourbon coffee is really good.
It is, but you're not holding the bag. What?
We should brew some up.
We only have one bag.
I think I've got some at my house.
How did that happen?
It might have ended up in my car.
Anyway, so that brought to you, this segment of the show brought to you by the Brooklyn Cafe Coffee. Even though he don't drink coffee, when he does, he drinks Brooklyn Cafe.
Don Pablo Coffee Growers and Roasters. We have that transition, Brie?
That smells good.
Let's do it. As you keep putting everything out, nice job, guys. We've got Sarah. She's back. Sarah Shumway recently graduated. Congratulations to you, Sarah. And we've got Anthony. Anthony, what's your last name? Rafa. Rafa?
Matrix.
This portion of today's show is brought to you by the Brooklyn Cafe Show Coffee, made with organic Arabica beans.
Arabica beans.
Where am I?
Arabica.
I feel like I'm in the Matrix. I don't know what studio
That's
I'm in,
'cause
but,
Anthony's in the
but
house.
I'm liking this place a whole heck of a lot. I think we
It's
should
fast
work
moving.
here.
Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have Slick in roller skates taking hamburger orders, like White Castles.
That's Monday, by the way.
White Castles.
Hamburger truck.
Can we wear roller skates Monday? Can we all wear roller skates Monday? Can we wear roller skates Monday?
Huh? Roller
Yes,
skates?
like White Castles.
We even had the fire extinguisher guy here today. We had everyone here today.
You're gonna have Daisy Dukes and roller skates? Let's go back to Sarah.
Sarah, congratulations. How was graduation?
It was good. It was 4 hours long, though.
Was it the whole school or just School of Communications?
I'm pretty sure it was the whole school, but I think it was so long because there were so many people there. And my family was complaining that it was really cold, like back where they were. But they were keep texting me that they wanted to leave.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gotta tell you, it's better to be cold than hot.
I agree.
When my
Yeah.
son graduated University of Florida graduation, the graduation was nice and air conditioned, and then he decided to walk us through the swamp.
Oh my gosh.
Now, why in the world would I want to walk through a swamp?
So he walks us through the swamp. He goes, come in this way. And we'll walk that way. The gate's open. And it was like this bad joke, and we just kept walking and walking and walked through the entire swamp at University of Florida.
Why?
Why would you do that?
Why? Because, Mom, let's do this. And
Was
once
this-
you're halfway in, what do? You either got to go back the other half or you keep going the other half.
Weren't there
Oh.
like gators in the swamp?
No. Well, yes, that's called the University of Florida Gators. But
So you walk through a swampy gator place, and
Yes.
you don't think there's something wrong with you? That's what happens when you drink unmercifully.
Could
gotta
you
be
walk
insane.
around or no?
You would do that? You guys would do that? Walk in the swamp?
it was the stadium.
What?
The stadium's called the swamp.
You didn't walk through the stadium. You walked through the swamp.
No,
I
it's
know
called,
it sounds the same.
It's called the swamp. Anyway, back
it
to your
'cause of the rain?
graduation. What did they do? Do you have a keynote speaker? What did they talk about?
So they had a few speakers. There's this one guy where he was an orphan before, and he didn't like the way he was treated, and they put all of his belongings into a trash bag to like give to him where he would go to the other homes. And so he had this whole it's like a foundation where it would help orphans and he would they would put together backpacks with like little stuff in the backpacks to help the orphans.
That was your guest speaker?
That was one of the guest speakers, which
Wow. You have more
I
than
liked that
one?
one. Yeah,
Wow.
there was a few other ones.
It's 4 hours, right?
Yeah,
That's a long time.
it was a really long time.
Wait, you see what you got to look forward to?
Yeah, the 4 hours. I mean, my girlfriend's was 2 hours and 30 minutes, so I mean,
Wow, that's crazy.
hour and 30 more.
You remember your graduation?
You don't have a mic, so when you get a mic, we
can listen to. Bailey, you just graduated. Let's go open up camera 3 as well.
Where is
Camera
Bailey?
3, she's on in the back.
Oh,
But
okay.
like, yeah, mine was long.
Yours was 3 hours long?
Long, and I didn't have I only had one family member
What
there.
number are you on?
I'm on A1.
A1. And Bailey, what number are you on?
A5.
Bailey, congratulations to you as well in graduation.
Thank you.
What did you get your degree in?
I think it's called a BFA, computer animation.
Nice. And Sarah, what did you get yours in?
It was a BFA of graphic design.
And now what's next in this big bad world, you guys?
Applying to multiple jobs at
Yeah.
once.
Isn't it strange that you graduate and then you're going to decide what to do with your life? So what the hell did you spend the last 4 years thinking about? How to pass?
Yeah.
How to
That's
pass,
it?
yeah. More focused on that than finding a job.
Wow. You got to back into a job. NYU, I graduated at the, the Arc. I was sitting under there. And the fountain, they had Moynihan, Patrick Moynihan.
Really?
Talking about nuclear war against the Russians.
Wow.
That was my graduation. It lasted 12 days. And we all jumped into the fountain when we finished.
It's an NYU thing for
An
sure.
NYU thing.
Really? You jumped
True.
into the fountain?
At
You jumped into a
NYU,
fountain?
at
Back into
Washington
your
Square
job?
Park. Me? No, I had a job waiting for me. I had to deliver papers for the Wall Street Journal, baby.
How'd that go for you?
Not too good. I was allergic to the ink. And I broke out in hives. And the doctor says that career is over.
You were allergic to the ink?
The indigo ink in the Wall Street Journal, I was allergic.
Wow.
I was like, you in talk. And I said, what the hell is this, doc? And he says, it's the ink. You can't. And my route was the Pan Am building that you guys call the Metropolitan Building in New York City. That whole building was my route. 17,000 newspapers.
How'd you do that?
I used to throw them up the elevator.
But where'd you put them all in?
They had a room the size of this room where they were all delivered.
Would you put them on a cart?
That was a lot of carts.
I was going to say you'd have to go up and down the elevator
Up
to
and
get
down.
more. How long did that take you in a day?
It took me 4 hours. I got paid good money.
Wow.
That was the end of that job. Then I went to sell trucks. I went to sell Mercedes-Benz trucks, baby.
Are you a car salesman?
Truck salesman,
What a
thank you very much.
surprise.
My first day on the job, I sold 21 Iveco trucks.
21?
20, I said 2 and a 1, and don't add them up, baby, because it's 21.
This is Freddie with a week off, by the way.
And I go in there, right? I had my father's jacket from the mid-40s. And I go in there, and the guy, the owner of the company, comes over. He says, let me get you a jacket. He gives me a jacket, brand new jacket. He says, I got a suit here. It's a $2,000 suit. He felt bad for me because I was an NYU grad, like you guys, graduate. I had no experience. I just went down to Midtown. I'll never forget it. It was a company that did linens for all the restaurants in New York. You know, the tablecloth and everything. Multi-millionaire. He bought 21 trucks. From me, the guy with a bad jacket.
What kind of commission did you get on that?
Nothing. They refused to pay me.
Oh my God.
Because it was my first day on the job, and the ink wasn't dry on the contract. So I called the guy. I said, thank you very much. I quit. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You want me to bring back the suit? Because he says, no, you keep that. He says, hold on. He called the Iveco people, canceled the order. And he canceled the order.
Wow.
I felt like $1 million. But he wouldn't hire me, so that was the end of that story.
My God, so many
Nobody would
stories.
hire me.
So you're going back to Sarasota
Yeah.
because rents are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, it's $2,000 for like a 1-bedroom right now.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Slick, it's the show you did.
Slick, now you have the producers leaving
go
us
sit
because
next
of
to
your
Bailey.
show. Yes, they go sit next to Bailey, so we can't see you there.
Join me, Slick. Join me, Slick.
Slick, next to Bailey. We
Come on,
can't
Slick,
see
I
you.
miss
We want
you.
to see you. We want to see the lovely slickness.
I saw him, baby.
No, you can sit next to her. Tell us what you were going to say, Slick.
Come
Go
on,
ahead, sit over there.
Come on, Slick. Get over here.
That is
Almost
what's so crazy. It's $2,000. So Sarah wants to buy something. You want to buy?
I think I'm gonna stay with my parents for a little bit and then figure out from there. And I kind of want to find a remote job. I think it would be better because I feel like those jobs pay more.
What kind of job?
Remote jobs. Because like if you're a graphic designer, it's already on the computer anyway.
You know, you're 100% right. The problem is that there are 10,000 of yous,
Yeah.
and there's only one jobs of them.
Yeah.
And the problem is getting in.
It's really competitive.
It's very competitive, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're welcome to stay here with us and learn more of your craft.
That's
and
a sofa, and there's a shower in the back, and there's a kitchen.
I know. Your son stayed here before.
Oh, it's very scary here.
We
I know.
told someone that, and they went looking for the shower.
I know. They're still looking.
Is there actually a shower?
Yeah.
Really?
You got to keep going till you hit the Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, Matrix will tell you a little bit about Dunkin' Donuts.
You got
You
lost
hung out
getting
there for
here,
a
huh?
while.
I did, yeah.
How
I went
far did you
around
get?
there. I probably went around that Dunkin' Donuts like 6 times before I got over here. I was in the right spot at first. I was just on the wrong side of the road.
Now, you went to FAU. You go to FAU.
Yeah.
So you know this area.
Yeah, but I'm more going towards the other side.
What is the other side?
Not the one towards University Village Apartments.
Oh, you're used to going west.
Yes.
Are you originally from Florida?
Yes.
What part of Florida?
Miami, specifically in the Cutler Bay region.
Oh, so you don't come up here too much?
No.
So Cutler Bay is where? I know. Where in Miami? Is it southwest?
South. Yeah, it's southwest, yeah.
Are you like south of Pinecrest?
Yes.
Yes, you pass into the
Like
ocean.
near
over the
Homestead?
No.
Above Homestead.
It goes, you got to cross the bridge to go into Cutler Bay. They have that beautiful town with those expensive mucho dinero condominiums. See, Freddie did some kitchens in there. That's how I know Cutler Bay is beautiful.
He must be near Schnepley's.
No. Schnetley's is all the way Homestead South.
He's north of Homestead. Okay.
Schnepley's
An hour and a half it took him to get here today.
Yeah, Schnepley take you about 2 hours. I love Schnepley's. We should go in a big van down to Schnepley's, but it's an all-day event because it takes you 2 hours to get there and back. It's like right down the street from you. It's like 40 minutes from you. Yeah. But Cutler Bay is beautiful. You ever been down to Biscayne Boulevard, Cutler Bay? I used to work down there.
It's by Biscayne?
Well, no, that's part of the region. Yeah. They got Brickell Avenue. They got where all the.
I used to live there.
You lived in Brickell? When did you live there? Oh. When did you? Oh, because you went to the University of Miami. You were dorming down there.
No, I lived there when we got married.
You did? On Brickell in the skyscrapers?
It wasn't. We had a small building. That looked like Amy's picture right there. It was a 5-story. It was like back in the day. There weren't many skyscrapers back then when I went to college.
My friend lived on the 28th floor of Brickell Avenue, and I went to visit her where she had just gotten the apartment. She rented. She didn't own it. And we bought some groceries, and we were gonna have dinner and sort of get to know each other
elevator
over
break?
the years. Freaking elevator's broken. So I go over to the guy and I go, yo, homie, come here. Who's gonna bring the groceries up? Number one, and you gotta get the elevator fixed. No, I'm sorry, sir. It's gonna be out all day. So I took the groceries out and I put it in the lobby.
You had lunch?
We made lunch there. I said, get me some butane burners, whatever, with a little water. We cook it here. Sir, you can't do that. Oh, yes, I can. Get the elevator fixed. So I took out fruits, is what I did. Fruits and nuts. And they got the elevator fixed.
You are nuts.
I'm not nuts. We're at 28 floors. Who's going to carry that thing all the way up there?
I know. You're kind of crazy, though. That's all I can tell
Would you do it? What would you do if you lived on the 28th floor?
I would simply ask to move to the first floor.
Put your stuff in the car, right?
Yeah.
Bring it up tomorrow.
Gotta go.
So that's my story with it's beautiful down there, though. I gotta tell you, you're looking down.
We live in paradise, I have to say. But I'm feeling the studio is a bit of paradise right now. Also, I love what you guys have done with the place.
Slick is gonna bring in fake ocean breeze, like with a little round. We should get a round pool thing, a waterfall. What do you mean, why? So I go wet my tootsies.
You know, we're coming up on our anniversary next month.
What anniversary?
6 years here.
7. If we're here 3 and we're 2 and 2 up there and 1 over there, 2 plus 3 plus 1 is.
It might be 7.
You count strange.
I lost track of the years. You think?
You know, average shows only last 7 years. Did you know that? You have to have a new show.
Thank you. And on that, let's take a commercial break. 888-994-4995. Why is he always such the bearer of good news?
It's true.
Stay
Maybe we
tuned.
start the Matrix 4.
Let's do it. We'll be right back.
Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky has a wide range of art, from abstracts to mosaic tapestries, and she paints on different surfaces, such as reverse painting on glass, tables, wall hangings, and sculptures. Her work can be ordered online at amyrashevsky.com, or you can come in and see it in real time at the Brooklyn Cafe Art Gallery. She also does commission work, so if you have an idea in mind, she can make it a reality. She invites you to reach out to her at Facebook or at email at amyrashevsky@gmail.com. That's amyrashevsky@gmail.com. Have an artful day. Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Hi everyone, I'm Alana and I am standing in J&D Cakes over off of Federal Highway by Meisner Park in Boca Raton. And wow, does it smell delicious in here. Owned by Joel Basco and Daniela Borquez, they are the ones in the business as far as cakes. From weddings and birthdays, special events, holidays, novelty, and known for their sculpture cakes, you have to check them out. If they look familiar to you, you may have seen them as they were featured on Cake Hunters. They were the winner of Food Network's Cake Wars, as well as returners and finalists on their Champs episode.
Hi, I'm Joel and welcome to J&D Cakes of Boca Raton. We're right across Meisner Park and we're open from Tuesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So come by if you can. If you want to order from us, please call us at 561-569-1860.
Breathing through my troubles, trying to be smart, living with another, passion in my heart, partners come and go, always with a
Providing music you will enjoy. JM Production performers will brighten up your stage. Condominiums and residential communities, nightclubs and restaurants that want to provide top quality singers and entertainers for their social events, banquets, celebrations, and their customers use JM Productions to ensure that they have an uplifting and beautiful event. Now, tune in for the show.
dancing for my life.
Are you ready to relax and unwind? Come visit the Spa Facial on Ocean Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale Beach. We offer facial therapy, body treatments, waxing, men's spa treatments, and so much more. Our spa services are a great way to take a step back from the bustle of everyday life. Come take a break with us. We guarantee our all-natural products will bring you to pure tranquility. Call us today at 954-213-5034 or visit our website, thespafacial.info.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And
On this segment, I'd like to highlight Amy Reshevsky. Amy Reshevsky is an in-house artist of the Brooklyn Cafe, even though she is well missed because she moved to North Carolina. Hopefully you're having fun, Amy, but for the ones that want to see more of Amy's pieces like this one, you can come visit us at the cafe. And now back to Dawn and Freddie.
Nice job. I like it a lot.
Amy's, and Amy, some of Amy's daughter's works are in here as well.
Yeah, you guys did a fantastic job rehanging her artwork. Our next project is to put the pricing on that. So that's our next step, is to get all the individual pricing of everything and keep going.
You're going to price everything in here?
We have to, because people want to buy and they want to know what the price is. Someone loved the Cracker Barrel special. Everyone loves these pieces. So many. I keep thinking it's my phone and it's yours, but thanks for playing.
I don't know why I did.
So step on down to the Brooklyn Cafe Show Gallery, take a look around, take a tour. Everything here is for sale. We've got new artwork with, they call it, I think, her toy series. So I gave her a new idea for one.
There's a missing piece. What's the other one?
There's one. It's one in the lobby.
No, there's one she was
There's
supposed
two
to
in the.
bring.
Oh, she hasn't brought it. She got COVID.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She went and got her booster, and she texted me the next day. She was supposed to bring the piece, and she felt really sick, and you and I were out sick. And she thought she felt too sick from the booster, and she tested, and she was positive.
Now, this artist behind us is in restaurants. He
He
does
is.
a lot of business in restaurants. So
He's
you-
in Sazio up in Delray Beach as well.
That's what I wanted to ask
Correct.
you. And do you know, you saw it up there, you told me.
I have not seen it up there, but he sells a lot from the restaurants because you're sitting, you're enjoying, you're eating, and they go, oh, I'm going to buy it.
And he was telling me a story. You know, we are on Boston Radio, WCAP, on Mondays. He did a lot of business in Boston
Of course he did.
for some of the wise guys up there, for some of the restaurants.
I love these pieces. They're fantastic. We also have one that's Andy Warhol, 15 Minutes of Fame, that's got all the social media in the background, which is so cool.
It's amazing how he does it. Actually, we have a commercial coming out
Yep, so that commercial is coming out
that
also.
explains on how he does it. All the artists in here, I just love this matrix piece. You see the green lines
I'm looking at the blue.
from Amy? No,
So
that's
we'll have to
just
spotlight that tomorrow. So a lot of good stuff coming. We've got Paul Solomon joining us today of Luhu Senior
Didn't I
Advisors.
just see Paul?
I think
swear to
you
God,
did.
close my eyes. This guy's everywhere.
Well, welcome back, Paul.
We saw him last night.
And it was a great show last night, I have to admit, because I got a phone call this morning from a listener.
Really?
And I have an appointment set up for 1 o'clock tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Monday, to meet with them. And they said that they've been talking about for the last couple months on what to do about planning. And they just happened to be listening last night. And I've got an appointment, so
That's fantastic.
It happens every time you go on the air. You notice that?
it works.
People call.
It
people
works.
say-
It's really,
because
it's
you're
amazing.
hitting a nerve. You know.
I
what
love
you're
that.
talking
Can we
about.
just clip that of it works?
It works.
That's all it is. Hashtag it works. For
That's
those,
a good hashtag.
it works.
And you could say that a lot of people, a lot of money, if they just did the right thing. The right thing begins with listening, which is what people do when you come on the air.
Well, so what about what you said last night triggered them to call you?
It was just the whole planning aspect and doing something before the husband got incompetent, because the husband is having some memory issues, a little dementia going on. And she said, you know, we've been talking about it, but you said something about doing the pre-planning before the crisis comes. And she said, you know, it hit a nerve. And, you know, I like what you had to say last night. And the free consultation, she says, is it free? How long would you come? Would you come to my house? I said, absolutely. I live in Delray. We made a time. I said, we'll spend about an hour. We'll go over things. Make sure you have certain documents out, certain financial statements, whatever you might have. Let's talk about everything. And let's see what the best route is for you to go forward.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it when it works.
You know, it's funny because thanks to you, I listened to you and I got involved with Dignity Memorial for the final resting place and stuff. And I saw the latest prices of what I'm paying, what it is now.
Really?
3 times more.
Seriously?
Today.
Yeah.
Than when I
How'd
first
you see
did
the
it.
pricing?
I called.
Oh.
And wow, I mean, wow. And what happens is if you don't look at these plans, now, I was going to ask you, I know you work with seniors, and you work with people that are looking, you know, turning the corner and they have to make decisions. But anybody really is a candidate, right? Because if you don't plan early, you're going to pay these outrageous, no, it's like gasoline.
Yeah, pre-planning for funerals is a little tougher because just like my parents, I really had to pull them by the hair to walk in to do the pre-planning because they felt if they were going to do the pre-planning, they were going to die tomorrow. I mean, that was their mentality. It's a mentality, unfortunately, of a lot of seniors. They don't want to talk about it. But I can say the same situation where it was 6 years later after we did the pre-planning before my dad passed away, and the numbers were just crazy, that we were locked in. I actually, when I went to go pay for the funeral, they asked me for $100. And that was just because I needed more death certificates.
Wow.
And that was the only reason that they asked me for money.
Well, let me ask you, the difference between what you do and what an estate planner does, like Justin.
Right.
What is the difference between what Luhu and as an advisor does versus that?
Right, now I work with Justin and other estate planning and or elder law attorneys. What they're doing more is the legal documents. So they're making sure power of attorney, healthcare directed living will, or a trust if it's needed, looking at your deed to make sure the property is deeded correctly, because there's different ways of doing it, whether somebody's passed away or not, to change the deed. So they're going to do that aspect of it. Justin really doesn't touch the financial aspect of it. He's going to say, speak to your financial advisor. And that's kind of where I wedge myself in between the financial advisor and Justin, whether it's the CPA, the financial advisor, and the attorney, because they're not going to sit down with you and they don't understand all the pieces. They're going to tell you to go back to that person, where I do understand that. But I can't give legal advice, but I understand what legal documents they do need and something they need to talk to the attorney about, again, before somebody becomes incompetent, or there's a death in the family, or if somebody has children and they put their child as power of attorney and they've passed on, or a divorce or something going on. Their legal documents are the first and foremost. That's the question I ask. And if they don't have an attorney to go to, then I direct them to Justin or another attorney, depending on the county. And that's kind of the start, because that's really the most important thing, is when somebody becomes incompetent, you need somebody to speak. You don't want the state to speak for you. You want a loved one that cares, that can make decisions for you.
Well, he's the quarterback. So
That's what I'm
he
thinking.
has all sorts of plays in his playbook. And depending on what the situation is, he's going. Now, what I like about him is that he thinks out of the box. So he has to be creative to get something done. So it's sort of mix a bag over here, and the end result is it gets done. That's what makes him so much more different in the field. All the other people that put the paperwork together, they do it because they're actually following a plan that you are putting together for this thing. I wish I knew you when my parents were alive, honestly.
And I commend that lady for calling you
Yeah,
yesterday, because I know
absolutely.
how many, what did it say, how many times do you touch a piece of paper before you file it or act on it? I know how many times I give out your phone number to people before they actually call you.
Correct.
And it's months.
Yeah.
So the fact that this woman heard you last night once and
And
made
called.
that call, I give her a ton of credit, because whatever you said hit the nerve,
Yeah.
because it can't, whatever it was, and she had the wherewithal to say, you know what, I have to do this. So kudos to her.
And it happened yesterday, too. I had an appointment with somebody yesterday during the day where an assisted living marketing person gave out my name. And they obviously were trying to get that person to move into the assisted living, but they don't know the financial situation of that person. They can only ask so many questions. And they show them the price and they say, can you afford this? And that person says yes or no. But she gave out my name because the person mentioned something about VA benefits. And I went to the person's home in Wellington. Again, I do house calls all the time. And we sat there. It was a 92-year-old gentleman that was all alone. And he said, I'm thinking about moving into an assisted living because I want people to be around me. And I said, you're 100% right. He's like, I understand the meals, I understand having somebody around me, but they're not on top of me, and I have the freedom. If I still want to drive, I can drive. And I said, absolutely. And we talked about VA. And he couldn't get a hold of VA to talk to them about the aid and attendance pension benefit, is what we were talking about. He couldn't get through to anybody. So he was frustrated. So I talked to him about that, and he had information that he thought was correct that wasn't correct. He can't qualify at the moment, and he might not qualify for a year or so. But we talked then about his finances. He had a reverse mortgage on his house. We talked about his house. We talked about if he sold his house, how much he could pull out. We talked about how he can protect his assets. And I said, listen, you're 92, 93. I know that if you did this, you would have enough money to 103. And he said, okay, I'm not planning on living that long, but thank you. And now I can make a decision, because before I couldn't make a decision. But now I can make a decision on what I need to do. And I could help him possibly sell his house, take the money and protect the money, and then direct him into an assisted living that might even take Medicaid benefits. And we talked about Medicaid benefits, which he didn't understand.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
VA, Medicaid, those are things that you can't get a hold of the VA a lot of times. So people give up and they say it's not going to be enough money. You hear all kinds of stories. And then you find that people's stories, unless you hear it directly, unless I'm on the phone with you and I hear things, by the time it gets from that person to you, to someone else, back to me, the story's probably changed.
Yeah.
And then by the time it gets to the kids, the story is definitely changed. And you're you either believe mom and dad,
Right.
because you don't, or you have to make the phone call, and who's got time to do that? Because you're raising all your family, and you're working, and you're in another state, and you need someone like you to coordinate all of this.
Yeah, I mean, I had an appointment last week. It was a 90-something-year-old mother in the house. The mother wants to stay in the house. The daughter moved into the house with her husband 3 years ago, and she's trying to do everything that her mom wants her to do. The only problem is they're running out of money, and they have about $30,000 to $40,000 left. The referral came from a home care agency. We know what the home care agency is going to cost, so they have about another 5 or 6 months of money left. And they said, okay, now what can we do? And I was giving them suggestions: reverse mortgage, if they really want to stay there, or move mom into a nursing home because she probably would qualify. And I'm fighting with the daughter because the daughter's telling me, well, that's not what mom wants to do. And that's not what mom wants to do. But meanwhile, I could see the body movement of the husband, and he wasn't happy because he knew that in 4 or 5 months, they would have had to tap into their money to then help their mom. And I'm giving them suggestions, and the daughter's sitting there shaking her head, and the husband's saying, yeah, we need to do this. And I'm sitting there in the middle of them, and I walked out. I said, all right, call me. Call me when you two figure it out, but don't wait 4 or 5 months.
That's the best thing to do.
It's funny, I was watching 911 yesterday, the show, and they were talking about living wills, about wills. And the guy told his son, you should have a will, grow up. And his delivery was wrong, but his intent was right.
Yeah.
And he said something really interesting. A living will is not about death. It's about taking care of your present situation, so you don't have to worry about anything presently.
Right.
I mean, he switched this whole thing around, and everybody went, you know something, it actually makes sense. So talking to you, you're giving good, bad, or indifferent, you're giving the right medicine. You know, it's not always pleasant medicine. Because the truth of the matter is, you got to make some moves.
You and I were talking about this morning, yeah.
And you got to make some moves. And if you don't make some moves, it's going to cost you a whole lot more later on. As I just found out, 3 times more for the same thing. It's just ridiculous what's going on right now. And it's good. They give you a call, they talk to you, you get options. You're not telling them they have to do anything. You walked out of that one.
Yeah.
Waiting for them to call you back. So
Give them all the information. Tell them if they want to hire me, this is the cost, because I know now what's there, the assets they have, where the assets are. I have the 2, 3, 4 people that I can refer to them, that I trust, that I work with, that won't tell them a story or not do the job that I know what needs to be done. And again, I am the quarterback.
Yep.
Because I'm going to be in the middle of the whole conversation, whether it's the attorney asking me questions, because most of the time, you know, they'll talk to the attorney, maybe they'll meet with the attorney, but because I'm a notary also, I can get things signed.
Right.
So I have the conversation with the people, and then I could bring the documents back, and I understand the documents. So I know what they're signing if they have any questions. So if there's a fear of an attorney, which a lot of people have the fear of the attorney, they fear of the cost of the attorney, I kind of push that away and kind of get them to understand this is what we need to do, and here's the possible cost, and in a non-threatening way. And the attorneys like that because I'm kind of helping set them up for the work that needs to be done.
Sure, it's the quarterback. What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Best number is my cell at 954-540-6609. You can email me at paulsolomonpa@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, luhu, L-U-H-U, advisors.com.
Paul's going to join us for the next segment. I've got someone I want you to meet. We've got Sabrina Rodriguez joining us that we met at our networking event.
I remember.
And when I met her and I said to you, I've got a client for you to meet, because I think what you do and what Paul does, we're going to talk about that on the other side of this commercial break. More about senior planning, either for you, your loved ones, your parents, but definitely now is the time to pre-plan, get in front of it instead of having to react on the back end.
True that.
Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYouPaid.com.
Do you need a strong cup of coffee to get you through your day? Try your very own Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, the official coffee of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can pick up a bag from us, or two. Contact us at 866-224-5422, or just stop on by. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, Suite 13. Come on in, grab a bag of our signature Brooklyn Cafe coffee. The cafe doors are always open.
Here at the Brooklyn Cafe, our subjects range from hot topics, feel-good stories, and back-in-the-day nostalgia. With guest personalities and business features, you just never know who you'll see on the show. With our brew crew on set, we always air live to inspire, educate, and create. Make it a date and have a day at the cafe. Join Dawn and Freddie every weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and for lunch every weekday from 12 to 2. Amplify your voice. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hillary Taylor at drthc.net. I have my doctorate in clinical psychology and now practice as a certified life coach. At Dr. Taylor's Holistic Community, we will work together using a holistic approach to improve and maintain your wellness and take the first steps towards creating the life that you want, need, and deserve. Call me today at 1-833-552-4442 and remember drthc.net.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I was thinking about that.
And we're back. You're funny. This portion of the show brought to you by Gubba Rum. It's wicked smooth, and it comes now. Oh, breaking news. You can get Gubba at
Go Puff.
Go Puff, which is still, the sign says Boca Liquor, but it ain't Boca Liquor, it's Go Puff.
All right.
Gubba Rum at Go Puff.
Located on Yamato Road at the old Boca Liquors, right next to the Ale House in Boca Raton.
Right
so
next
check that
to
out.
Dunkin' Donuts. Exactly right next to Dunkin' Donuts. So check it out. They have it in there. We still got to do the Gubba March.
Let's do it.
Let's sell them out.
So a few weeks ago, we had the pleasure of hosting a networking event up at Meridian in, I believe it was in Lake Worth.
Lantana. Right?
Lantana, with Lucky of Fuego 2.0, and we met some amazing guests, and we had a lot of people scheduled for last week, which we had to reschedule for this week. But I'm excited because we met Sabrina Rodriguez with Assisted Living Locators. And what this woman does, she does they wear a lot of hats. So I guess we can talk about the lot of hats, but in the short time that we have today, let's talk about your senior placement business of what you do.
What I do is find senior living solutions for clients, whether it be assisted living, independent living, or nothing at all. Sometimes it's just having a home health agency in their home because it's the most financially beneficial way, and it depends on their resources, and I like to be able to help them figure out with their family members the best solution for them at the time.
What is that like when you go into a home, like Paul was saying, and mom's like, no, I need to do this, and the daughter says, but mom doesn't want to do that, and then the son-in-law says, but yeah, but you got to do that. How do you come to a decision?
So he did a great job by saying, hey, let's give them time to think about it, right? And the next step is if the daughter's the power of attorney, it's probably the person you really have to work with and kind of share more resources and support, because she's going to wear out, she's going to burn out. not just physically and emotionally, but also financially, and that's going to create a rift in the marriage. So, I've worked with families, and again, we check back with them in about a week or so, and then continue to follow up. And once the money gets low, they're gonna make a decision. Unfortunately, 90% of the clients I work with are in cases of duress, where something bad has to happen in order for them to speak to me, or anyone actually, for them to make a decision. So mom breaks the hip, mom goes ill and goes into the hospital. That's at the time that they're going to probably make that unfortunate decision, as opposed to being proactive.
Because you never want to look at it and say, I need to move.
No, not at all.
I remember I kept telling you my grandparents. My grandfather had laryngeal cancer and Parkinson's, and he says, I'm saving for a rainy day. And we're thinking, but Grandpa, it's pretty much a hurricane right now. Nope, I'm good right where I am, until my parents had to really go in it and do something, because your mindset changes, you think you can fight through it, whatever it is, and then you need someone like you guys to step in and say, let's help.
And the thing is, I don't know everything. So it's great to have resources and support from the community. I remember somebody that I worked with that was extremely reclusive and scared of people. So we started them off at going into like a senior center for a few hours a week. And they finally said, hey, this isn't too bad. I like to be around people. And I was able to place them to an assisted living. But again, their biggest thing was being around people. So we created some plan, if you will, to get them in some type of social setting, which made them more comfortable.
So maybe that's a good start when people are looking, because assisted living has many benefits, not even just necessarily if you need help with ADLs, but the socialization of it is really important.
Absolutely. Socialization is something, especially during COVID, that folks got away from. I just had a client call me from Illinois today. His wife passed away 7 months ago. He's about 80 years old. He's got over $1 million in assets. He's got a $500,000 house. He has $5,000 in income, and he says, I'm depressed and I don't know what to do.
I'm moving.
I mean, yes. So finances wasn't his issue, and a lot of the times people I work with, finances are. So we got to figure things out. But he has tons of finances. He's just really lonely and depressed. And he said, "Can I come down and see some places?" And I said, "Absolutely." So that was an easy sell. He just needs somebody to hold his hand. So he's like, "Well, this real estate stuff, I don't know. My son, he's busy. I have to sell the house. I've got to move." I said, "Listen, I've got all the resources for that. You don't have to do it by yourself. There are people out there that help you do the move from start to finish. They can help you sell your house, clean up your house, throw away the stuff in your house, and you should get a document that's called a power of attorney. So if you're sick or something and you can't make decisions or you need your son's help, he can sign on your behalf." So it was an amazing conversation, and that is like somebody giving me a free gift, because that is going to be an amazing. This will be an amazing story. We'll work together, but not a lot of the times do I deal with people that are willingly wanting to come and be around people. But socialization, he said, "Sabrina, I've been reclusive for over 7 months now, and I think I need more people around me." So that was really nice.
You can see how that happens. Even me just being home for a week. Yesterday, I was a little nervous about going out. I thought, is this what people did for COVID for 2 years? You and I had the benefit of never having to shut down. We were in here every day. But after a week, you start thinking, well, my house is nice. I can go outside. I can go to the bedroom. I don't really need to see people. Imagine doing this for 2.5 years. You become reclusive. You're almost afraid to go see people.
I kind of like it.
Being reclusive? You love being around people. The people will call you for placement. Do you place within all of the South Florida area?
Yes, I place anywhere in South Florida, and I have a national franchise. So if I needed a place in New York, New Jersey, wherever, I actually have resources and referral partners out there that I can have help as well. So pretty much anywhere. But my forte is down in South Florida, Southeast Florida.
Well, let's bring Paul into this mix, because Paul, you don't do placement, but if she had a client that was in financial duress,
right,
you could help them on that end, so then they have the financial wherewithal to say, okay, Sabrina, now we would like to be placed in some of these options.
Correct. And like I said before, I get people to open up because they understand that I'm really there as their financial person to figure out if they can afford to move into certain places. So somebody like Sabrina, they might not want to speak to right away, or ever. And then I would come in and then say, okay, I'm here to help you figure out now about your house, about your finances, what you can afford, what the government benefits might pay depending upon where they move into. And if I work with Sabrina, I would say, Sabrina, okay, listen, we're looking for Medicaid benefits for this person. So make sure you find a place that does take Medicaid, because they all don't, but some good ones do. And make sure that you place them there, because in 30, 60, 90 days, we'll be able to get money for them to help pay for part of their bill. So that's where I come into the mix.
Well, what I like is you can, how do I put this? I can come to you and say, you know something, I think I sell my house, I can't find a place to live.
You want to move into an independent
Don't
living?
laugh. Don't laugh.
It's affordable.
It's not crazy.
Not at all.
Because they got some real nice places.
Yes.
Right? So I go to Paul, I said, Paul, this is what I'm looking for. You bring her in. All of a sudden, problem resolved. Because you can't find a decent place to live right now, and it costs you $2 million. It's just ridiculous right now. So I'm thinking, if you look at the long run of this stuff, I'm really not quite sure I understand how that assisted living stuff works. I sort of stay away from it because Linda works in that field.
But they
as
have
well.
independent livings also.
Correct. That's where you would start, personally. You
Independent?
couldn't qualify technically for assisted living. You're
Oh, I
too
can
healthy.
qualify.
Two
You're too
ADLs.
healthy.
You need help with 2 ADLs.
I can barely walk. I can barely stand. Yes, I know that game. I gotta tell you, but the other one you can do. But if you think about it in the long run, I mean, I have to start thinking, what am I gonna do eventually? Because my two
You're only
sons,
60.
yeah, but my sons are meatheads.
What's wrong
Both
with
of them.
you?
They would have put me in one of them already.
I know.
What, are you kidding me? So you got to sort of plan out and understand the game that you're going to be facing maybe in 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is, right? At least understand the game. Doesn't mean you have to make a move. Like Paul says, you ain't got the sign on the line yet. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But she gives you all these different advantages because she has so many different places that she works with.
And the thing is, I mean, you can go on Google, you can go on Yelp and see all the reviews, and you can see what people allow you to see on their websites or allow you to see on their social media. But I actually have an internal experience with these facilities, communities, good, bad, or indifferent, which I share with my families. And I'm not about just making money. And sometimes, like I said to you, I get paid off a placement. So if somebody gets placed in an assisted living, I get paid. If they stay in their house with home health, I don't get paid. But sometimes that's the proper solution for that family member, and that's just what it is. I really try to take it as, you know, this is an industry I came into not trying to aggressively be rich, if you will, off of people's issues. It's more about what can I do to help somebody in their time of life. And also, if you think about it, our senior population, we've got the not Gen X. What's the
Baby
next?
boomers?
Baby boomers. My dad's a baby boomer, so is my mom. And at the end of the day, they're explosive right now. They're all over the place, and they're going to be needing more support in the future. So at the end of the day, you know, I want to be able to help my parents because they still look at me as a child, of course. And it's important that, you know, they know that there are resources out there. Like my dad would literally put money, like $500,000 underneath his pillow because he says, I don't trust the banks. Or, you know, doing a trust is stupid. Like, why would you pay money to put money somewhere? Like, what is that for? So, you know, he's got a mentality or a mindset that, you know, needs to be changed. And I totally see the value that you add, and I think that's really important. So the more education is super important. But like I said, a lot of the times I do what I do under duress and as quickly as possible because that's what has to happen. Mom or sister, brother, uncle, aunt live in another state and they don't know what to do with mom or dad. So.
And the one that suffers the most is the caregiver.
Yeah, what happens a lot of the time too is either the family goes to the closest assisted living to where that person lives because they say mom or dad will be comfortable there, but that might not be the best place.
Right.
So Sabrina, who's been in a mall, I mean, I've been in a mall also, but she knows the good, the bad, what, let's say, is more active than not more active, and it's not always just about the price, you know, and then I believe you also will help negotiate
Absolutely.
Which is a big deal because people don't like to negotiate all
You
the
can
time.
negotiate with these places?
Absolutely. So a community fee, I can get it waived. I actually had two beautiful places, two high-end places that I was touring a family at. This family, it's a husband and wife, and they're looking for a 2-bedroom. So it'd be anywhere between $8,500 to $10,000 a month. So it's a higher-end place. And I had two places, and they were able to give me a free month's rent on the third month because they went back and forth and said, and I knew which place they wanted. Already off the top, just because of their personalities and and location and their needs, and I was still able to negotiate a free month's rent. So you best believe they were happy they came with me. Would they've been able to do it themselves? Possibly, if they had the tact to do so. But not a lot of people like to say, "Hey, let's barter, let's negotiate."
People, when they walk in there, that's the last thing they want to do. But I would go and say, okay, tell me your number one place. When you go to eat at dinner, and the waitress or the waiter comes over, don't you ever ask them?
Always.
What's the best thing on the menu
And
that you
Chuck
would
hates it every time I do
do
that.
it every
He
time.
says to me, why do you ask them? Because
Do it
they
every time.
know this is what they do.
This lady, I went to an Italian restaurant and I ordered something. She says, you don't want that. I says, what do you order? And she says, the lasagna. Oh my God. And now that's my lasagna place.
Right.
So I would ask her, which is the number one place? And you gotta listen, because they know what's going on there. She may look around and say, listen, let's check this out because this is the place.
Well, you could move into a 55-plus community.
And it begins. You see, I started this
You
bit,
started it.
and I'm in
You
trouble
started
now.
it.
You can too, because you're 55.
I know.
I know.
There's nothing wrong with those places.
And you
Nice
know
and
what
quiet.
They tell me they're less
It's too
expensive,
quiet, man.
but
I'm
they've
from
got
New York, you know
beautiful
what I'm
ones.
saying? What?
They've got beautiful
They're too
55-plus communities.
Do you know that I can't
They've got
stand
gyms
Florida
and
'cause it's too
activewear.
freaking quiet. Why do we even have sidewalks in this state? Nobody uses them. Nobody walks. The bicyclists use them because they're afraid of the cars. But nobody, you ever gone on at night? You ever go to the store and look around? There's nobody outside.
I gotta tell you, East Boca, everyone's out walking.
Really?
East Boca.
East Boca.
Not
Dawn,
West Boca.
Atlantic.
Not West Boca. Too many bugs in West
Atlantic
Boca.
is a madhouse, yeah.
East Boca, everyone's out. In the mornings, you cannot be on your phone because there's people on every sidewalk. There's kids, there's
Wow.
dogs, there's bicycles, there's all kinds of people out.
All I have
Well,
is
you
iguanas.
you live in a different neighborhood.
Yeah, I gotta move.
I have
I
to.
need a little noise.
I have to say one other thing about Sabrina being local too. There are national companies that advertise a lot on TV, and they don't do the justice and the job that a local person can do. And unfortunately, because of all the advertising they do, their phone's ringing, and I'm up against that sometimes. They're not here personally
Glad
to
you said that.
show the assisted livings or hold your hand through the process like Sabrina can do. They'll just fax in a phone number and they'll get the lead or they'll get the commission for it, and they're not doing the right thing for the families. But the families see the commercial, they call the phone number, then they get locked in. And too many times I get people that say, I wish I looked at others, or how do I get out of here? And then they want to move. And
I
that's
can
a
see
big
that.
project to move. It's not easy.
Moving is a big project. I had to have that conversation. 'cause
Changes your life.
So a lot of these places change ownership.
Management.
It's hard to keep management right.
Yes.
It's hard to keep staffing, and it sometimes they decline. And I remember having this conversation with someone. All they would do was complain to me, and I think you got two choices. One is you stay but stop complaining, or two is you move your loved one, but you know what it's going to take to move them? I said, you're the two choices. But complaining to me isn't helping this loved one, and they move them, and it has been so far superior in experience to move them. They're closer, it's beautiful, they're well taken care of, because things changed during COVID.
I moved my mom 3 times, twice during COVID, and here I am experienced. And I thought that I had the right location for them. I know the administrator, but the team just wasn't a good team. And they were newer facilities, and that's always a challenge for the newer facilities, is having that quality team. Right now, my mom's been in a community for a year and a half. They changed the head of nursing, and it's completely changed, and I'm thinking about moving her again after a year and a half.
I think that's a great point. One of the things I love to, one of the communities that I love to work with are mom and pops. They're high-end communities. They've got great amenities, but the owners own the building, and they are in every single day. They have more ownership, and they have more control of what's going on into the building. When there's national brands like Brookdale's, and some are very lovely, and other national brands. but the turnover can be horrendous. So it is nice to work with local mom and pops that have got good quality staffing, good quality administration, and their turnover's lower. So I do like working with those places, and I actually say it out loud. So I'll let somebody know if you need high care level for mom or dad and you're not going to be their advocate, you're going to have to work with somebody that you trust and that you can get a hold of that may not quit tomorrow. An owner can't just quit. Now, sometimes they can sell properties. That stuff happens. Totally understand it. But at the end of the day, you've got to start somewhere. And like, depending on the level of care that you need, there's certain places I offer, and there's certain places that I don't share because I'll say it's not worth it. I've got some amazing properties that are beautiful, but if mom needed help with getting off the commode or needed help transferring into a wheelchair, some of those places will definitely not be able to. They'll take an hour wait. They'll take an hour and a half wait to get from the chair to the commode. It's terrible. So
That is hard. That's tough.
Well, this sounds like a silly question. Why would people put their loved ones in a facility like that? Is it less money to be in a lesser care facility? Paul, from you tell me not necessarily, because there's high-end beds that you can get on Medicaid dollars, right?
Right.
Yes.
Or is it just lack of education?
It's the lack of it's just like any business.
You just don't know.
You just don't know, because at the end of the day, this high-end place that you're spending, let's just say $7,000 a month for a studio apartment, and they just lost 5 people, and they just lost their director of nursing, and they just lost their wellness director, whatever. And now what happens is they're understaffed. Who's taking care of your mom? I had a high-end place that I stopped referring to for 6 months until they got staffed, and it was a beautiful, very local, beautiful place. I mean, it's gorgeous, but I was telling people you got to stay away from that until they can figure it out. And I hate bad-mouthing places, and I'm not going to say it out loud and what place it was, but for my clients, I really try to steer them to the right place, and that does happen. So if I realize that they're understaffed or I'm getting word of it, I say something to the owners and or the administration team, because I don't want to continue to refer to you to hurt my clients.
And unfortunately, sometimes, and again, my experience is, especially with memory care, that you're hoping that the people are trained well enough to take care of the families that are there. And I could just say that most of the facilities do not do the full training, especially when it comes to memory care and how to deal with the resident there. And you see it all the time, unfortunately. I've been to a lot of programs. I know how to treat somebody. I'm dealing with my own mom. Whether you yell at them, talk to them softly, introduce yourself, get to their eye level. There's all these little things to do, and I don't see anybody doing it. So there's the training that would go a long way, but you wouldn't know that until you might go there, visit, put your mom there, but then until you're there every day or you see what's going on, you really wouldn't know, do they really have the training that they promoted they had?
Well, it's a business.
Correct.
Nurses, right now, Texas sucked up all the nurses out of Florida. I know for a fact. And right now, that whole thing is going down, and you don't have the people to be able to cover the amount of people. I mean, it was a shiny penny when you got in there, and no fault of their own. You only have 5 people to serve 100 different homes. It's tough.
It's
really, really hard.
Yep.
But I remember when I was training home health aides, I remember the ones that I hired had to do it my way. And then they laugh at me, but there was only one way to do it, and I used to have them shave me on my face. Yep. I used to teach them how to shave. And he's looking at me because if you know how to shave a man, you can almost do anything. They nicked me, they cut me, they didn't know how to turn the razor on. And I said, okay, you're either willing to learn or this job ain't for you.
Wow.
And I lost my aides. The families would take them up north. I lost them, all of them. They were all gone. But I used to do this extra care because I remember when I had mom, I had that problem. They put her in a home and there wasn't anybody to take her to the bathroom and everything else. Or the pamper situation. It was horrible. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. So knowing what you're getting into, having the insight. Sometimes you know something that other people don't know and you tell them. It's important. I mean, you're going through this right now. Maybe she can even help you find something that she thinks would be right up what mom needs. Because there's only one mom. I don't care anything anybody ever says. You only got one mom. And you better hold on to that. Because when she's gone, she's gone. That's the bottom line of that.
Sabrina, what's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Easiest way is to call me at or text me at 561-601-5801, or email me at srodriguez@assistedlivinglocators.com.
Awesome. More to come.
That was a good meetup at the Lantana piece. Met a lot of nice
It was a
people.
great event.
It was amazing. And actually, Lucky reached out to me. She's a very sweet lady. She reached out to me, asked me how I liked it, and she invited me personally to the next event. So it was very nice of her.
She was just here. She did another interview because she does interviews here on Tuesdays from the event, and I'm dying for her to have another one because All County wants to go. They had a great time.
Yeah, you met John last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That man is never at a loss for words.
Never lost for words. But it was a nice event. A lot of stuff that I learned from other people. There was a lot of fun.
We've learned a lot. It's nice to be getting back out in the community and making connections.
Yep.
And as we roll into summer, and I don't think a lot of people have gone back, I think a lot of people are decided to stay and not maybe go back up north. They're looking for different placements and they're looking for different options. And now is the best time to pre-plan, get some information, have the consultation, and just see what's next, what's the best option.
Get a little inside information.
You know?
Everybody like a little inside information.
And my parents decided, as you said, to stay in their home and pay off their mortgage and do it that way with assisted care. But I have to tell you, the house is very big, and it's a house I grew up in. So it's.
Is your mom renting rooms?
Yeah. So it is way too large for them, but they did not want to move because they didn't want to pack and move and try and sell. So they decided to stay, which is fine for now. But this can't be the end game because it's 5,000 square feet.
It's a beautiful house.
It'll
just too
become
big.
inefficient eventually, right? And at the end of the day, you as the daughter make the better decision. But unfortunately, and I say this to my clients, if something's gonna, for them to make a move, if something's gonna have to happen. It's got to be an event, and then they'll be willing to listen. And that would be the only thing that I could say about that, unfortunately.
Or it's a third party, right? That happened with my father-in-law. They brought him home and he fell. And then they brought in another aide and the paramedics that came and he fell. And he fell 3 times in 24 hours. And at that point, the paramedic said, you have a choice. You either place him or we are going to have to report this and place him. So it took the event and they could no longer keep him at home with help at home because it took exactly what happened.
Hospitals are an amazing resource for that. So I like to work with hospitals because in that instance, these folks, you've got medical folks that look at them and say they need assisted living. They cannot live at home. There's no way they can do it. And at that point, that's under the situation of duress. But that third party are the doctors or that nurse that says you can't go home until you can't have a safe discharge until you get placed into an assisted living. So that totally is the truth. And that doctors and nurses and social workers are great resources for that.
And it's a hard situation because when someone tells the family your loved one cannot come home, the family gets crazy. And you all know, right? The kids have to go back to work. They have to go back to New York in their lives. They can only stay for so long, and we get all of that. So make the call. Reach out to Paul. Reach out to Sabrina for more information. Paul's going to stay with us, I think, for a little bit.
Sure.
More information to come. Give us a call if you need anything. 888-994-4995. Studio A. We're going to take a commercial break. Sabrina, thank you so much for joining us. Good to reconnect, and we'll be right back.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYouPaid.com.
Do you need a strong cup of coffee to get you through your day? Try your very own Brooklyn Cafe Show coffee, the official coffee of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can pick up a bag from us, or 2. Contact us at 866-224-5422, or just stop on by. We're at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard, Suite 13. Come on in, grab a bag of our signature Brooklyn Cafe coffee. The cafe doors are always open.
Here
At the Brooklyn Cafe, our subjects range from hot topics, feel-good stories, and back-in-the-day nostalgia. With guest personalities and business features, you just never know who you'll see on the show. With our brew crew on set, we always air live to inspire, educate, and create. Make it a date and have a day at the cafe. Join Dawn and Freddie every weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and for lunch every weekday from 12 to 2. Amplify your voice. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hillary Taylor at drthc.net. I have my doctorate in clinical psychology and now practice as a certified life coach. At Dr. Taylor's Holistic Community, we will work together using a holistic approach to improve and maintain your wellness and take the first steps towards creating the life that you want, need, and deserve. Call me today at 1-833-552-4442. And remember, drthc.net.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
We back. You in the Heights? And why?
Your background is looking really nice, I have to say.
You know, it's really
They
funny.
did a great job.
When I lived in the Heights, we used to put a baby's blanket in the fire escape. You know how a baby has those little mushy blankets, nothing thick? We used to put them in the fire escape with a boom box, little cooler. Because we had no AC. You know, we grew up with no AC. And only the hot sun and the cool breeze on Washington Heights was, and I look at these windows and I remember them.
Wow.
And we used to, you ever hang out in the fire escape and have some music, and then you had friends up and down, and everybody used to talk, and it was craziness. That's what we used to do.
Oh, I can't even imagine growing up with no AC.
Oh no, we had no AC. In Puerto Rico, we had no AC. And in the Heights either.
I tell you, I don't think I'd make it out of the airport in Puerto Rico.
It's funny, my father got an AC because he worked in a building, a unit, and they gave him one. So he brought it home. Nobody knew how the damn thing stayed in the window. We didn't know. So he says, well, you got to screw it into the window. I says, no, Dad, nobody would sell AC. They get screwed in the window. So, you know, it has the flaps, and you went down the window. And everybody, he says to me, run downstairs in case it falls out.
I was going to say, how do you make sure it doesn't fall out? How do you make sure it doesn't fall
Because
out?
it leans on the window.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's the angle of it.
It just rests
and
in
then you
there?
put the window down to a certain point, so it's holding it in.
It's like this. It's like when Slicks hangs art. It's like that. And the water comes out of the AC and it goes into the ground outside.
It runs down the whole building?
Yeah, it goes down. Yeah, no, it doesn't hit the building, just because it's about this way from the building.
Yeah, but everyone else's is doing the same thing.
That's what it is to live in New York. You get that. They all go down.
And you get used to the humming noise because they're loud. They're not
Humming. It was like.
That's why no one minds that the fan is going. I'm sitting here thinking no one's complaining. I guess you guys are used to that
I'm
also.
used to that. But the funny thing is, I'm looking at this stuff and I remember that brick got hot, man. You know those buildings are made of brick? Boy, they got hot. It was tough. It was stupid to sit in a fire escape now that I think about it. But that's what we used to do. We had a little boom box. Remember a little boom box? You see, you're from Florida. You don't know this stuff.
I do it right. I do, and I don't. I only see it on TV. Like, you are a walking movie to me.
Why?
Because, you know, movies like John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive. I saw this in the movie. You live that life.
We used to do that. We used
Right?
to.
You guys live this life. And to me, it was a movie. Two pieces of
we used
pizza and...
We used to hang out in the fire escape, and we used to watch the stickball games go on in front of us, right? So I grew up watching this stuff until I learned how to play stickball. But that was the deal. You used to be in the fire escape. You had a little boom box, little something. My brother used to play music and open up the windows in his bedroom, and everybody would start
I
singing.
guess he didn't have an
dancing.
AC in there.
No.
Because if you open up the window, the AC would fall
But it's funny. So we were just in New York City this past weekend, and my son was looking at artwork, and he wanted something of New York City, and he was on this website, and all it was water towers on top of the buildings. And he's like, "What are these?"
I remember those.
Because he doesn't even notice. He lives in New York City, but he didn't notice it. So now we're riding around, riding bikes, doing whatever in the city, and he's like, "Oh my God, I never realized how many water towers were on top of these buildings and what they were for." And I said, so that piece of art with water towers, that really is what New York City, the skyline, really was made up of years ago, not these high rises that were
So
there.
amazing. Well, congratulations. Your son just graduated, I guess. a
He's
couple weeks ago, right?
graduating, yes. It's a kind of, he should have graduated, but has 2 more classes to go.
Okay, but you went to graduation.
99%.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't
Oh,
go
you
yet.
didn't go to graduation.
No, we didn't go yet.
99% done. It's funny, those water towers, we used to do graffiti up in them towers. We used to put the name of our group, Decal Boys or whatever, up on the towers. And then people used to come and spray paint over that. But that was fun. Riding elevators in the projects.
Yeah.
Remember the old red boxes for the fire department?
Uh-huh.
Remember these? You used to have a hook. You put the hook in there, you hit it, and the alarm used to go off, and the
Yeah.
firemen used to come.
Yeah.
Could be fun.
So we used to break the chain, and we used to steal the hook. You used to take the hook and you put it into the elevator in the projects, which was like 30 floors. And you used to ride on top of the elevator, and you used to ride up on top of the elevator. Dangerous. Don't do that.
Can't
Don't
say
ever
I
do
did that, but I could appreciate that.
Oh my goodness. We used to ride on top of the trains, the A
Yeah.
train, not the A train. It was the 4 line, the one that went by Yankee Stadium.
Uh-huh.
We used to ride on top of that, the decal.
Things that you
That was
remember.
tough. I mean, listen, don't ever, ever, ever do that. Catch you doing that, I'll knock you on the head. That was dangerous stuff. But my cousins used to dare me. What are you gonna do?
Yes, you do what you do. So your son lives in New York. What's he doing?
He works as a consultant for a smaller boutique company.
Okay.
And he's been there for 3 years, and he's made the decision that he's had enough in New York City. Between the rent prices, between the food prices, between how dirty it really is, unfortunately. He's moving out to Denver in October.
Wow.
His girlfriend grew up in Denver, moved to New York City to be with him. She lasted about a year, and they said, you know what, we've had enough, and they're moving out.
Are rents in Denver better?
Yeah, yeah. They can get a 2-bedroom apartment for what they're paying for a 1-bedroom apartment in New York. I mean, it has a really nice apartment. It's down in the financial district right off of Wall Street. It's a really nice building.
Nice.
He's not slumming it by any means.
What part of New York does he live in?
The financial district, it's off of John Street, Gold Street.
Oh, he's down there?
Yeah. Which is now
Gotta
the
go to-
hip-happing area. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
which,
gotta go to the Bronx.
yeah. I
There
spent a
ain't-
lot.
there's
I
nice
spent a lot of
places.
days in the Bronx. My family business was in the Bronx.
Pelham
so-
Bay is still nice.
Yeah. I mean, we were in Hunts Point, so I mean.
No, don't go there.
That's where
Don't-
his business was.
No,
That's
don't
where
go
our
there.
business was. 3 o'clock in the morning. I
At
used
what
to
time?
drive
What
to work.
year was this?
In the 80s to 90s.
Hunts Point.
Hunts
Were you
Point.
still there?
Oh my God, yes.
You were still there then, right?
There was still action going on in the streets when I used to
Action?
drive into work. I used to never stop at a stoplight. I used to, slow down, but go right through red lights because you don't want to stop on a corner.
It was that nice
You
of
know
a
what
neighborhood,
did
huh?
Hunts Point in was AIDS.
Yeah.
That did HIV killed Hunts Point. There are certain documentaries that were made, and the reason I know that is because I used to visit Hunts Point for liquidation. You used to drink at the bars. It was cheap, 2 for 1s, 3 for 1s.
Yeah.
And I came out in one of them documentaries.
Wow.
But Hunts Point is not what I'm talking
So
about.
I
I'm
guess
talking
you're
about
no longer in that family business.
Tremont Avenue, Parkchester,
Sure.
Pelham Bay. Those are areas are nice.
Yeah. I mean, we had a warehouse right outside of Yankee Stadium, 163rd Street, River Road.
Ex-day in the
You don't
Yankee
wanna know
Stadium,
it.
man. You don't want to go there.
But that's where, for almost 40 years, we
That's
had
where
a
his
warehouse
business
there.
was.
Wow. You were down there, huh?
That's where we
You
were.
remember the Puerto Rican Day Parade on the Grand Concourse?
Uh-huh.
On the Grand Concourse, we used to have the Bronx Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Yeah.
I used to be part of that. I did that for 3 years.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. The Grand Concourse was nice. In the day, the Grand Concourse was called the Grand.
Oh, those apartments
Concourse.
there were beautiful.
They were huge. We lived
Back in the
one
day.
of them.
Yeah.
6-bedroom. Oof. It's like 5,000 feet. You used to walk in and say, okay, where'd Mimi go? Where's my sister? Oh, she's all the way in the other. It were huge rooms
Yep.
and 4 bathrooms. Nice.
Did you live there?
Yeah. I lived up on Bedford Avenue. Remember Bedford,
Uh-huh.
200th Street?
Nice.
It was
It's
fun.
changed.
Yeah.
Right, and now look, now here we are planning for our parents and
That was
things
20
change
years
for
ago.
sure.
I left 20 years ago.
They redid where your son lives, right? Because of 9/11, all that was redone down there.
Yeah, I mean, we went to 9/11 Memorial. We walked through the museum.
What are
we-
rents like over there?
He pays $4,000 a month for
One
a
bedroom?
one-bedroom. And they did there was a lot of financial buildings and bank buildings that they converted to apartments. And he's trying to talk to the landlord now, which is a big management company. They could probably get $5,000 for his apartment. So he's trying to get out early before his lease is up. And he thinks they'll let him because they'll get more money for it.
It's double what it is here, and it's expensive here.
My sister lives on 186th Street on Laurel Hill, and she pays $1,600. Those apartments go for like $6,000, but she's in rent control.
Yeah, rent control is a beautiful thing.
So, you know, rent control, they want you out.
Yeah.
So if you missed your rent, but I tell her to stay 1 month ahead of your rent. She works with Columbia Presbyterian, and she's been there for like 32 years.
Wow. That's a steal.
I used to live there. In that building, it was me, my mom's, Mimi, my cousins, because we were like gypsies. We used to all move into the same building. So there were 60 units in the building, 40 of them were us.
That's
rent
amazing.
control.
That's
rent
amazing.
control?
Yeah, again, from the movies, like Good Times, TV shows I watch.
But that was the name, the Michelama Projects. That was the deal. That was, you know, Portchester or Michelama.
But New York is just an entity unto itself. There is nothing, nowhere else like New York.
No. they
Look,
all
you
have
got the
it.
Music Man here himself.
New York was the place. And I was young, you know, it wasn't until I got my house in Pelham Bay, and then I started buying houses all over the place. Yonkers was right next door because we grew up on DeKalb Avenue. DeWitt Clinton High School was right there. And those are the good areas still. I didn't go down to Hunts Point. When I worked for John Hancock, they sent me down to Hunts Point, right? So I go to this building to do an insurance building. So those got all these kids, everything, all sitting on cars, and I got my brand new car. So I went over and I took out 100. I cut in half, and I gave it to the biggest guy in the group. I says, I'll give you the other half if nothing happens to my car when I come out in 2 hours. I came out, they were all sitting around my car. Not on the car,
You
around
ripped
it.
the $100 in half?
I gave him the 100. It was worth it.
You can do that?
Well, call a cop. Yeah, you could do that. You could do anything.
Does the money still work?
Of course, you put tape on it, you hand it out, and it
Of
keeps
course, as long as the numbers match.
Wow.
You never seen that? Come on.
Sheltered. He's a
Wow.
boca, you know.
Wow, you believe this? You hearing this?
Really?
Yeah. Well, you had to protect your own, right? You had to take care. I had a brand new Maxima. And they sent me down there. I called my boss and said, are you insane? Sending me down here with my new car. And I popped the deal. I come out, I gave him, okay, I sold the deal. I'm not getting a mug. That was my biggest worry. I would get mugged when I got downstairs. I said, okay, here's the other 100. Jump in the car. Vroom.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
So much fun. Well, I am so glad that you were able to do the show last night. I think it was a great show, and I'm glad that people are responding and hearing the messages.
Yeah, and you know me, love to talk. So anytime, any place, it's just about educating people. And we know that the education is, you know, people every day. Oh, I wish I met you a year ago, 2 years ago. I wish I met you when my mom was alive to help you.
True that.
And it's just I'm trying to get the word out because there really is nobody out there that has the grasp of everything involved. And especially I can say I'm going through it myself as I'm dealing with it. I'm being able to educate the people and say, all right, don't do this, call this one, make sure you're ahead of the curve because otherwise the crisis mode is not a good mode to be in.
And she's a good connection. I didn't realize what she did, but that's a good connection for the two of them
Yeah.
to work out stuff because she has the finger on the pulse and
Yep.
she knows what she does. She's always on the go, this one.
I know, getting her in here for like 30
Tough.
minutes, that was big.
Right.
She said, can I come for a cup of coffee? I said, no time for coffee. I just want you to meet Paul, do your thing, and then you keep going.
Yeah, I'm going to meet her this week maybe.
But-
If she has time, yeah.
That's the key, is just making the connections and doing and keep going. And
Next time we take
People need
Paul
you.
with us to the next event.
absolutely.
Where are
He
we going?
was-
Where?
Remember that networking event that we went to? I think you weren't feeling well that that day, or
Yes,
you were
yes.
getting ready to go away or
It's
something.
about 50 people in there. They all will work in the same circles that you do. It would have been a great event. We're trying to bring them in here little by little so you can meet them. So when this
Okay.
happens, we'll call you back and keep growing and growing. It was a fantastic deal. She interviewed another one today. She has a few that want to come back. They, Latino Central, I think they're calling it. They have a whole Facebook page and all that. So we got to introduce you to the other side on that.
Absolutely. So that was great. Nice
Great.
job last night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome back. I'm glad everyone's on the mend.
You too.
We keep going, doing what we do, making
stuff.
connections. But if you have any questions for your family, loved one, financial planning, senior placement, you name it, reach out to Paul. Luhu Advisors, 954-450-6609. He can help you with VA benefits, Medicaid benefits. And yes, there are placement options that are beautiful that take Medicaid dollars. And I think that's probably the biggest misnomer. You don't have to have your parents at home suffering because you worry about money. Give Paul a call.
And you could also get it at home too. So if you wanted to start the
Yeah.
planning, start at home. And that's usually the transition. Get the help at home to the point of they can't be home anymore, and then make the transition to the assisted living or nursing home.
Hashtag it works. Actually, now that you said that, I want you to meet the lady that's in Studio B.
Okay.
Hashtag it works.
Hashtag it works.
It
Ready to
works.
wrap this up?
Yep.
Nice job, everyone. Thank you to our new crew. Next time you come into the studio, you'll see we've got our summer crew that's here, and of course, our long-timers with Slick and Haley, and Brianna's back. Alana's joining us. There is a big fundraiser Saturday night to raise money for Alana's platform, which is to bring these amazing little robots into our schools to help special needs students with friendships and relationships. So we can post that link on our website.
It's an axe throwing
It's an axe throwing bar. Tickets are $50, but tickets go to the axe throwing bar, and then there are proceeds that go back to help
Where is the
support
place?
this. I believe it's in Coral Springs area.
Okay. We got to
So
find the area.
We'll
We gotta
post
find
that
the-
link up there because it's all a good initiative. And if you want to go and have some fun, if not, you can just make a donation to help support our public schools and get these robots into the school system. Wrap this up. Nice job, everyone. Welcome to the crew. You guys did fantastic on board today. The studio looks amazing. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. brunch.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
You hurt when I hurt. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. The streets are empty, but the sky is clear. You want somebody and can't have them near. Taking shelter where you can when the world is at stake. Alone together, trying hard not to break. Singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You hurt when I hurt. I feel what you feel. We will survive. We will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope